There is a place in Shanghai where the past and the future stand face to face. On one side of the Huangpu River are stone buildings, old banks, luxury hotels, and stories from a century ago. On the other side rise glass towers, futuristic designs, and one of the world's most recognizable skylines. Between them flows the Huangpu River. One river, two worlds. But the Bund is not just a beautiful view. It is the story of how Shanghai became one of the world's most fascinating cities. Most visitors come here for the famous photo. But the real story of the Bund is not only what you see. It is what these buildings remember. For more than a century, this waterfront witnessed Shanghai's rise as an international trading city. Banks, trading companies, hotels, and government buildings lined the river. Each building represented ambition, wealth, competition, and a changing world. Today, the Bund has become an open-air museum. You don't need a ticket. You only need to walk. Our journey begins with one of the Bund's most famous landmarks, the Peace Hotel. Look at the green pyramid on top. It is more than a roof. It is the symbol of an era. The hotel was once connected with Sir Victor Sassoon, one of old Shanghai's most colorful businessmen. With wealth, parties, racehorses, and a love for luxury, he became almost a real-life Gatsby of Shanghai. Inside the hotel, jazz music once filled the rooms, and international travelers came to experience the glamour of the city. The Peace Hotel was not just a place to stay. It was where old Shanghai performed itself. A few steps away stands another giant of the Bund, the former HSBC Building. This was not designed like an ordinary office. It was built like a palace. The giant dome, grand columns, and bronze lions were created to show the power of finance. The message was simple. Money had arrived, and it wanted everyone to know. Every great city has a heartbeat. On the Bund, that heartbeat comes from the Customs House clock. For generations, its sound has traveled across the Huangpu River. The city changed. Buildings changed. People changed. But the clock kept moving. Nearby, the Bank of China building tells another story. Among many Western-style buildings, it represents Chinese identity standing proudly beside international power. The Bund was never just about foreign influence. It was also about Shanghai finding its own voice. But the Bund's story is not only about banks and government buildings. Hidden among these historic facades is another side of old Shanghai luxury, entertainment, and social life. This is Roosevelt House. Built in the early 20th century, it became part of the glamorous world of Shanghai's waterfront. Unlike a bank that represented financial power, Roosevelt House represented lifestyle and connection. It was a place where people gathered, exchanged ideas, enjoyed food and drinks, and experienced the international atmosphere of old Shanghai. The Bund was not only a place where money moved, it was also a place where stories happened. Behind every stone facade was a different version of Shanghai. Now it is time to cross the river. The fastest way is not always the most memorable way. Take the local ferry. For just a few yuan, you can experience one of Shanghai's greatest transitions. Behind you, the historic Bund becomes smaller. Ahead of you, Pudong rises from the water. In only a few minutes, you travel from old Shanghai to future Shanghai. Before Shanghai Tower and the famous Lujiazui skyscrapers, there was the Oriental Pearl Tower. As the ferry approaches Pudong, its unique spheres appear above the Huangpu River, a symbol that Shanghai was entering a new era. Opened in 1994, the tower became the first unforgettable landmark of Pudong's transformation. Its design is unlike any traditional skyscraper. 11 spheres are connected by columns, creating a shape that feels like a mix of futuristic technology and Chinese poetry. Many people associate its design with the famous image of pearls falling onto a jade plate. From the Bund, the Oriental Pearl stands between two worlds. Behind it is historic Shanghai. In front of it is the future city rising into the sky. It was not built to be the tallest building. It was built to be remembered. Even today, surrounded by taller towers, the Oriental Pearl remains the symbol many people recognize first when they think of Shanghai. The Oriental Pearl gave Pudong its first unforgettable face. But Shanghai was only beginning to build upward. Soon, 3 glass giants would rise beside it, and locals would give each one a surprisingly ordinary nickname. The bottle opener, the syringe, and the whisk. But Shanghai is not only about skylines. To understand the city, you need to leave the river and walk into its neighborhoods. This is Wukang Building. Built in the 1920s, its unique triangular shape makes it one of Shanghai's most recognizable residential landmarks. Unlike the grand buildings of the Bund, Wukang Building tells smaller stories. Stories of residents, artists, writers, cafes, and everyday life. The Bund shows Shanghai's ambition. Pudong shows Shanghai's future. But places like Wukang Building show Shanghai's personality. But Shanghai is not only a city of buildings, it is also a city of flavors. Near the Bund, walk into the side streets and you will find another Shanghai. Try soup dumplings with their hot broth inside. Taste crispy-bottomed shengjian buns. Enjoy simple but unforgettable scallion oil noodles. The future of Shanghai may be written in glass, but its memories are still carried through food. Shanghai does not choose between the past and the future. It keeps both. The Bund remembers where the city came from. Pudong shows where it wants to go. And the Huangpu River connects them forever. This is why Shanghai is more than a skyline. It is a story still being written. Explore China beyond the surface. Go China freely.